You've done this before. Monday morning, new habit. You're fired up. You wake up early. You do the thing. You feel good about yourself. Day 2, same. Day 3, still solid. Day 7, you're telling people about it. Then day 11 happens, back-to-back meetings. Your kid was sick. You skipped one day. And somehow that one day turned into a month. And now that habit is just another thing on the list of things you were going to do. And here's the part that actually stings. It's not the lost habit that hurts the most. It's what it does to how you see yourself. The hardest part isn't losing the habit. The hardest part is the feeling that you can't trust yourself anymore. You're someone who delivers at work, for your family, for everyone who depends on you. And yet this one small thing, this thing you chose for yourself, you couldn't hold it together. That feeling is a lie, and today I'm going to show you exactly why. Last time, I promised you this. Let's deliver. First, what's actually happening in your brain? Literally, not as a metaphor. Habits run on a loop. A cue triggers the behavior produces a reward, and the reward tells your brain to repeat it. That loop is why habits can become automatic. But here's the part nobody mentions. Your brain is aggressively wired for novelty. When you start something new, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical behind drive and motivation. That's why the first week feels amazing. But around day 10 to 20, the novelty drops. The dopamine drops with it. And your brain starts asking, is this still worth it? That's not a character flaw. That's the interest curve, and it's universal. But there's a second mechanism, and this one matters more for people like you. There's a region called the prefrontal cortex. It handles planning, decision-making, and doing hard things that don't feel immediately rewarding. It's the part that says yes, go to the gym even though the couch is right there. Under normal conditions, it works. Under chronic stress, it goes offline, literally. Stress floods your system with cortisol, and cortisol suppresses prefrontal cortex activity. The more overloaded you are, the less access you have to the exact part of your brain habits require. This is why habits don't just get harder during stressful periods. They collapse entirely. It's not weakness, it's neurobiology. Here's the trap high performers fall into, and I've done it myself. You're good at executing under pressure. Deadlines, deliverables, high stakes. You show up. So you apply that same logic to personal habits. You set a goal, you commit, you rely on discipline. But your nervous system doesn't distinguish between work stress and life stress. It just measures load. Back-to-back meetings, a sick kid, a difficult conversation. Each one signals to your nervous system that the environment is demanding. And an overloaded nervous system has one instinct: conserve. Don't add more. Your nervous system seeks safety before growth. Always. This is why habits collapse after stressful periods. Not during them, after them. You white-knuckle through the hard week, then things calm down, and you suddenly drop it. Because your nervous system finally has space, and it's using that space to recover, not to build. Layer decision fatigue on top of that. Every choice you make throughout the day draws from the same cognitive pool. By 7 p.m., after the meetings, the emails, the parenting, you have almost nothing left. And the habit is sitting there asking you to decide to do it again. That's the design failure. You built something that requires a fully resourced nervous system, and you're trying to run it on empty. The fix isn't more motivation. The fix is designing habits that work with your biology. Here are 3 ways to do that. Number 1, make it so small it feels embarrassing. Take whatever habit you're trying to build and cut it down until it feels almost insulting. Not 30 minutes of exercise, put on your shoes. Not reading for an hour, 1 page, not meditating. 3 breaths. Here's why this works specifically for you. Your overloaded brain isn't blocking you because you're lazy. It's blocking you because the habit feels like a threat. Another demand. Another thing that requires resources you don't have. When you make the habit laughably small, you bring it below the nervous system's threat threshold. There's nothing to resist. You just do it. And once you start, you almost always continue, because the entry was the only real barrier. But the deeper shift is this. You're not building a productivity habit. You're building an identity. Every time you open the book, even 1 page, you cast a vote for the person who reads. Over 6 months, those votes add up to someone different, and someone who trusts themselves again. Number 2, design your environment, not your willpower. The second shift is about your surroundings, not your strength of character. Behavioral economists call it friction. The harder something is to start, the less you do it. The easier it is to start, the more you do it. If you want to read before bed, the book goes on the pillow, not on the shelf. On the pillow. If you want to stop checking your phone first thing in the morning, the charger goes in another room. You're not testing your willpower. You're changing the architecture. The second piece is habit stacking, anchoring new behavior to something you already do automatically. After I pour my morning coffee, I will. Beats, I will do this at 7 a.m. Because coffee is already on autopilot. You're borrowing its momentum. For someone with a packed schedule and a family, this is everything. You're not finding extra time, you're finding existing pockets of automaticity and inserting new behavior into them. Number 3, keep your brain interested. Once the habit is small and your environment supports it, the third enemy shows up. Boredom. Not the dramatic kind, the quiet kind. The kind where you're going through the motions, but you're not really there anymore. Your brain has filed the activity as known and stopped paying attention. The solution isn't reinventing the habit every week. It's micro-variation around a stable core. The core stays fixed. The wrapper changes. Same workout. Different playlist. Different location once a week. Same reading habit. Different genre every few books. Same journaling. Different prompt every 10 days. You're not disrupting the habit. You're giving your brain just enough novelty to stay engaged without rebuilding from scratch. The brain doesn't want monotony. Give it a consistent shape with variable texture. 3 things, make it small. Design your environment. Add micro variation. But here's what I actually want you to take from this video, and it has nothing to do with habits. You don't need more discipline. You need a system that works even when life gets hard. Because life will get hard. The meetings won't stop. The kids won't stop. The hard days won't stop. The goal was never to be the person who never misses. The goal is to be the person who always comes back. That's it. That's the whole thing. Every small habit you stack, every bit of friction you remove, every tiny variation that keeps your brain engaged, it's not building a routine. It's building someone who knows. I can drop it, and I can pick it back up every time. That's the quiet confidence nobody talks about, and it's worth more than any streak. Here's your one action. Pick one habit you've tried before and failed. Write down the 2-minute version. Attach it to something you already do. Drop it in the comments. 2 sentences. I read them. Don't miss my next video. Make it a habit.